Just how many changes were made to my M1 Finance portfolio? Fewer slices, fewer pies. Let's dive into the three tasks of May 2024. Number one, I added additional cash to my high yield cash account inside of M1 to avoid the $3 monthly maintenance fee that began on May 15th, 2024. If you have under $10,000 in assets at M1 Finance, they are going to charge you a $3 monthly maintenance fee. Look at it as a goal to achieve $10,000 inside your M1 Finance to get that fee waived. Number two, consolidation of my holdings, making this portfolio even more simple to grow in the future. And number three, I wanted to avoid overthinking in this long term strategy investment portfolio, so I turned on automatic weekly investing. Over the last month, this account has received $1.76 in dividends earned. I've also received $76 in the M1 Owner's Reward Credit Card. That's my free earn for using their card to spend. And I've had $400 in regular scheduled deposits from my paycheck. As you can see, our dividends shown right here. We've had some Costco, TI, American Express, TLT. That's a total of $477 of total cash thrown into this portfolio. Now, where did we allocate this position? At the beginning of this video, I mentioned how I have simplified this portfolio to make it weighted towards my goals of future qualified dividend earning potential. I kept it simple. Who's my new Fab 5? Well, 4 ETFs and Amex, VPU, DGRO, SCHD, VTI, and AXP. That is my new dream team. Why these holdings? Simple. VTI for total exposure, VPU for consumer staple insulation, and DGRO and SCHD for growth. Amex because of their top tier card holders with low charge off rates versus a Capital One or Discover competitor, but more on that in another video. I am early in building this portfolio and I wanted more weight at the core positions that I hold. I did the math, and having Costco and TXN were great for growth as a percentage basis, but I earned pennies over 6 months of holding them because they were not weighted very heavy compared to my other holdings. Looking at the value of each of these holdings, VPU at the top, DGRO in second, SCHD, Amex, and VTI. At the end of April, I released part 1 of this series. My portfolio had roughly $3,700 in value across 14 holdings. Now I've invested $477 additional dollars in cash, and at the end of May, we are hovering just over $4,200 as I record this video. DGRO had 15 shares. Today we sit at roughly 21 shares. SCHD had 8 shares a month ago. Today we sit at roughly 12.5 shares. VPU in April was at 5 shares. Today we're at 9. Amex and VTI, slightly more fractional shares were purchased over May, but they were overweight once I rebalanced and sold off my other positions. Now, I will receive a taxable event because I bought and sold inside this portfolio. I am not a financial advisor, and before you make any changes to your own portfolio, you want to do your own research and talk to a CPA. My tax will be limited due to the small values that I sold this month, but I will receive a tax burden. Now, that is why we focus on qualified dividend ETFs for dividend income in our retirement years, because as the tax law is written today, we will have a lower tax burden on our much larger positions in DGRO and SCHD and others in 2 or 3 decades. My tax burden will be minimal today, but if you had, let's say, a $420,000 position that you were moving money around, buying and selling, and you did that in the year 2024, 2025's tax bill will be much more on a larger portfolio. Again, this portfolio is to build wealth extremely slowly. We're going to remember that as we have set our automatic schedules to invest cash from our paychecks. The goal of this portfolio is to have $2 million invested by the year 2040. Stick around to find out if I actually get there. If you are enjoying this content, you might as well subscribe if you're in it for the long haul. I like the expression, to drive a car across a country, you don't need to hold the steering wheel in one position. You make many minor and major adjustments along the journey. That is how I plan to treat this portfolio over the next few decades. This was early in my investment road trip, so I made a big turn to get onto the interstate. Next, we can anticipate minor changes along the straight open highway. Drop a comment of your holdings in your portfolio below. Let me know if you've made changes in the past or are thinking about changes in the future. It's your life, steer your vehicle.